So I am looking out the window seeing fog for sure as the sun comes up this morning. Probably many of you are too, especially in areas that got some rainfall last night. So I want to go ahead and bring that out first thing. Good morning to you. This is Thursday morning, the 5th. We are starting off with a look at the waves of precipitation that will come our way between now and Saturday morning and which ones might be severe. Talking about our severe weather threat for Friday evening. So that is the point today. So got a forecast ready to go for you. Good morning, and I appreciate you joining me. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first things first, as you head out the door this morning, be watching for those areas of significant fog. As I look through the forecast area this morning, it's about 46 degrees around most of the area today, but shaded in that a little bit darker gray there from Bates County and north on the Missouri side, for example. Dense fog advisory. It actually drops off here in about 30 minutes, but I think it will be partly there'll be some patchy fog throughout the area this morning through probably mid-morning. So just watch out for that today. Again, like I say, in areas that got some precipitation last evening, especially. So today's forecast and all this data brought to you by me and my team at Mullinex Funeral Home in Butler and Drexel. A lot of things make us unique. We do our very best for you and your family. You have my word on that. You're welcome to give us a call anytime that you have questions. Visit us on the web or 660-679-0009, sponsoring the forecast today. So we're going to go ahead and talk about severe weather for Friday first. I'm going to break it down. Between now and Saturday morning, I see 3 waves of precipitation. 2 have the probability to be severe, but there are some factors. I think that's big picture. And actually, I kind of remember, I hope you guys remember, comment if you do, last spring, wasn't quite this early, we all know that, there was a setup something like this, and if I remember right, I didn't look this up this morning, we actually had a 3 out of 5 enhanced risk going, but there were variables in the forecast. Remember that? I spent several days going through forecast variables. I kind of think the whole thing was a bust, if I remember right. I think none of it came together. Kind of a similar setup this time. There are some variables. There are some reasons that this severe threat on Friday night might not come together. There's some chances that only part of it does because there's 2 parts to it. So just to be honest with you, because, I just posted the other day, that's how I do things, right? Just to be honest with you, we just need to be aware of all the possibilities. There are still some variables. I'm going to show you what they are, but I just want you to be aware of all of the possibilities for Friday. Likely it won't come together exactly like I'm showing you it might, but it could. So that's kind of where we're at. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But we'll start with the severe weather outlook this morning. Again, not much change here. 3 out of 5 enhanced risk covering all of east central Kansas and just about all of west central Missouri as well. Breaking it down by specific threats, tornado probabilities are there, and they've crept up a little bit. And I'm going to show you why. We're talking about the possibility of some discrete supercells forming early on in the first wave of precipitation on Friday evening. First wave. So there's possibly 2. So anyway, it's not 0, and it has crept up a little bit just because of the type of cells we are possibly expecting earlier on Friday evening. So tornado outlook, severe wind outlook. I'm much more confident in this. Again, covering about the same area. Both waves, but particularly a later wave, later Friday night, would be concerning for damaging straight line winds. Severe hail, again, this is probably earlier on Friday evening. We have the potential for up to some 2-inch diameter hail if supercells form early on in the period. So that is kind of the big picture for things. So here is what the possibilities are. And I just want to start off by showing you, this is one particular setup. This is starting maybe Friday evening. Timing is going to vary on this once this whole thing gets started, but I'm going to say that this is between like 4 and 6 or 7 p.m. on Friday. North American model suggests that right now this is about 5 p.m., but we'll have some variation on that. So what I see starting us off on Friday evening possibly is these smaller supercells. So here comes the first wave of smaller supercells Friday evening, maybe. This is dependent on what is left over from Friday morning precipitation. And I'm going to show you that kind of backwards. But if the atmosphere is worked over Thursday night, tonight into Friday morning, and there's cloud debris that hangs around all through the day, we don't get that heating, all of this is going to change significantly, and it's going to be much, much less. So how much less, how much heating do we get? remains to be seen. But anyway, here we go with the first wave of possible more discrete cell formation moving through early, 5, 6, maybe 7 p.m. That's our first possibility. A little bit more confident that the second wave will develop with a cold front that comes in from the northwest to the southeast later in the evening. This could be 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, or later, but data suggesting that this is about 10 to midnight. It's about the time frame right now. So what do you guys see here? A more linear threat where we're talking about the possibility of those strong, damaging straight line winds. So those are the two possibilities. I want to back all the way up and just kind of show you big picture. Tonight into Friday morning is another possible setup. Here we go. So yeah, tonight over into Friday morning, we do have a wave of precipitation that catches northwest Missouri. A couple different forecast models do this differently. So this may touch east central Kansas and west central Missouri. Let me go ahead and show you why I say there's several possibilities. Here is the HRRR. That was the North American model. Which is not my first go-to for storm setup, right? But that's its portrayal. If I go over here to my old buddy HRRR, which is always my first look, just because of its biases, here is the setup tonight over into Friday morning. So it's a little bit more significant. There are going to be some storms that set up tonight. There you guys see them traveling through southern Kansas, moving our direction, but they weaken as they do. And so that's one variable that factors into what happens Friday night is what is really left over, any boundaries left over from this wave that takes us into Friday morning. And then the HRRR says not so much as we get going Friday evening on these little discrete supercells that I was showing you with the other model. Let me go ahead and put that up. Here we go. This is the same time frame with this forecast model. Not so much. I mean, there's little stuff out there. But this is emphasizing that less. This is a little bit more confident in that second wave Friday night. There it is. And this puts it at about 9:10 p.m. So, again, I hope that makes sense. I hope that that covers all of the possibilities. Are we going to see all three waves, including tonight's and the two on Friday, exactly like this? Probably not. As we go through the day tomorrow, you guys can look up at the sky with me and you can see what kind of cloud debris. If we're just socked in cloud cover wise and we don't get any heating, I'm a lot more confident that we're still going to have some convective activity, but I'm going to be questioning how much severity and for how long at that point. So certainly hope that that makes sense. That is how I see things this morning. We're going to be weather aware from about 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. All right, let's go ahead and talk about temperatures all the way through this. Here's where we're headed today, starting out in those mid-40s. We're going to get up to about 63 degrees by about 4 o'clock today. That'll be the high temperature if I use these Butler, Missouri numbers. Look what happens overnight. This is weird, right? But winds are due out of the south-southwest, so we're going to pick up warmer air, also going to gather moisture. That's the first main ingredient as we go through Friday. So overnight, we might we're going to stay the same. We might warm up a degree or two. But yeah, at midnight tonight, it's going to be about 61 degrees. And 60s all through tomorrow, getting up to 72. So that's what I wonder about. It's going to be warmer. Is it going to be sunny? Adding to the instability for Friday evening storm. So let me go ahead and put your 10-day forecast up. Let's go down to Nevada. Good morning to you folks. We use these numbers. This is Nevada, Missouri. So your temperature is going to be a few degrees different, but yeah, 74 is what I'm calling for you guys on Friday. That is a strong cold front, bringing maybe that linear threat through that I was just talking about. So we're only going to see mid-50s or so on a Saturday, but we climb back out of there and back into the 70s to start off next week. So that is what I have for you guys this morning. Hope that makes sense. I will be paying attention to things, especially as we get into, Friday afternoon. I will definitely be paying attention. You guys can lock it in here with me, and we'll watch it together. I will tell you what I see and when. I appreciate you guys joining me. Have an awesome day today. I will catch you back later.